Hello and welcome to the third episode of Yahoo Footballing Weekly with me, author and Yahoo columnist Neil Humphreys.
And me, Yahoo editor Chia Keong. And him, Manchester United fan Raymond Soh.
Yeah, as a United fan for 26 years. So we'll do our best, try not to be relegated this year.
Yeah, he's wearing the right colours, black, because he's in mourning. And we'll get to him in a moment. But before we do that, Keong,
Right.
we had some serious reaction last week to podcast number 2.
Tell me about it.
Harry Bird Whistle, right?
Yep, 56,000 hits on our TikTok.
And that was all just my mother. All 56,000. Oh, she's
wonderful.
very keen. She's a big TikTok on my mother. Right. But no, so let's just recap briefly. Last week, we had a long chat about Unleash the Roar and its impact. Will it be a success? Will it not be a success? And Singapore's mission to qualify for the World Cup in 2034. Last week, I spoke to the guys behind the new Schools Football Academy, which is being rolled out nationwide. And we just had this chat about Harry Bird Whistle. To recap, he's 18 years old. He just had his first team experience pre-season with Wolverhampton Wanderers, EPL side. He's currently playing with the under-18s and the under-23s. And I just suggested that we need to have a conversation about what we can potentially do to avoid the next Harry Bird Whistle being lost, because he may be renouncing his citizenship. Yep. And we had a bit of a response, Keong, didn't we?
Once you touch about NS, everybody's
NS, man, don't mention NS. Ooh. I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it. What did we get? What comments did we get?
Let me see.
We got 56,000 likes. I see comments like, if they are wearing a Singapore patch representing the country, then it should be considered NS. But if it's for personal gain only, serve NS first.
And another one says, most Singaporeans don't care much about Wolves.
Most English don't care much about Wolves, but carry on.
We are not so passionate about football as the British, but we know the importance of serving NS.
Yeah, and just to clarify, please do go back and watch the second podcast if you haven't already. I never once said, nor did you, we never once said it's either or. We just said...
Can we have both?
Yeah, discuss possibilities of combining both. But then someone followed up on your comment, made me laugh. The dudes wearing Liverpool and Manchester United jerseys on National Day might suggest otherwise. Oh dear. Do you wear a Manchester United shirt on National Day, Raymond?
Actually, I do.
See?
There we go.
Singaporean. All right. Any more comments there?
National defence is more important than professional football. Without national defence, there's no Singapore to start with. We understand, yes, and NS is definitely more important, but you can balance your football with NS. If there's a way to do it, shouldn't we pursue it?
We never said, and I'm aware of my ungmorness, I'm the only non-NS person in the room, but nobody ever said it's either or. Yes. It can be both.
Never once we said either or. We said, why not both?
And the single greatest example of nation building in the last 30 years has been Joseph Schooling winning the gold medal. Sports do a hell of a lot more for nation building than any politician or businessman. And this is something we have to acknowledge as we move forward. Now, speaking of politics, diplomacy and crisis, hello Manchester United supporter. Hi. How are you feeling this week?
I'm feeling very down and looking forward to the next game. Probably, if you ask about my prediction, I think 5-0.
Okay. Well, before we get into that, I just want to say as a neutral, this Manchester United situation is great. I'm loving every second of it. It's like a Shakespearean tragedy. I don't care if it's Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City. There's just something Greek, Roman, historical, tragic about the fall from Everest, the fall from the Parthenon. It's wonderful to see. It's a real Shakespearean tragedy. And that 4-0 Brentford debacle, firstly, it could have been double that if Brentford hadn't stopped playing in the second half. And secondly, I don't think I've ever seen such a listless, aimless performance from a fallen champion. What did you think of it, Raymond?
Very disappointing. Okay, first, how Man United play nowadays, like modern football, they play possession, try to hold on the game, and passing around the defense, playing the ball with the goalkeeper. And you do know that they are passing quite sloppy. from the past few seasons. So that's where the mistakes comes in. Then that gives Bradford the chance to score the second goal and so on.
Yeah. So I mean, it must have been very, very shocked to watch
It's
that
very
first
shocked.
half.
It's very shocked to watch the second goal. Then come in the third goal. It's just like watching. You remember Germany beat Brazil like 7.
Yeah, I was in Brazil when it happened. That was extraordinary.
Yeah, you can never forget that where you were that moment when these things happened. Right? Yeah.
So what are the problems? I mean, there's a lot of them, but we've got some comments here coming in. I'll just read out a couple we got in response to my columns and Han Keong's columns on Yahoo. I thought it was going to be a mid-table fight. It was a relegation fight. They can't offer Cristiano Ronaldo Champions League football, so they are trying to give him Championship football, which I like that one a lot.
Nice.
And this is a key one from Lee Russell Lance. It is no longer the problem of the manager. Big chunks of the squad have to go. History repeats itself again and again. This happened with Mourinho, Ole, Rangnick. There is something about that, Raymond. This isn't an overnight thing. As I said on the last podcast, this wasn't a sudden occurrence. This is a continuation of something that's been going on for a long time.
Yes, there's a big changes in the players' performance. You see, Rashford once he's in his peak, De Gea once in his peak, and everyone just came falling down in such a short period of time. And the wages they're earning is like a few £100,000 pounds per week, and they're not playing like they deserve any of this money.
What do you think of the new signings, Ten Hag's new signings?
New signings, actually, for the defense sides, we have this
Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez. Okay, I think he's also not doing well in the squad. Probably maybe who's beside him is the
Slaphead.
Harry Maguire.
Yes.
The tanker that doesn't move. Yeah, Harry Maguire. I mean, it doesn't help that Martinez is too short for the English Premier League. I mean, he's 5'9". I don't know what that is in metric measurements. 1'5", 1'6",
169, I think.
Well, I mean, he shouldn't be in Manchester United. He should be with Snow White in the Seven Dwarfs, because 5'9", unless you're beside a very experienced, quick, mobile centre-back, like a Vidic, like a Rio Ferdinand, you can
like
survive.
Van
Dijk, yeah, if you want to slip that in. So Gary Neville did occasionally, who's quite short, Gary Neville did occasionally play alongside centre-backs for defence, but that's because Manchester United had far better resources. Harry Maguire cannot cover for a dwarf. He just can't. I mean, so you've got a mishmash there.
Yeah. So you just talked about Gary Neville. He and Jamie Redknapp had a quarrel in the middle after that match.
Yeah.
He's saying that the problem lies with the Glazers, the owners of Manchester United. And Jamie Redknapp said, no, it's the players themselves who need to look at themselves and know you should blame the players
I
more.
think everything plays a part.
Yeah.
Maybe it comes down from the top. So from the top, the players don't have the morale to continue fighting for it. But if you talk about continue fighting for it, just go out there and play football. And they can't even perform like what they used to do.
Yeah. I mean, I said in my Yahoo column that, this again, that binary thing, is Redknapp right? Is Neville right? They can actually both be right. Gary Neville was right to say that there's a problem with the Glazers, and Redknapp was right to say there's a problem with the squad. And I think the two are linked, and this is why. The Glazers are not football club owners. The Glazers are slum landlords. They are slum landlords. They will occasionally buy a stick of furniture to stick in their house, but the house is falling down, right? The house is falling down. They borrow £550 million to buy that club. They still owe £550 million. They took the most profitable club in world football and made it a basket case. They are literally leeching the soul out of that club. And if I was a fan like you or any other Manchester United fans watching or listening, I would be furious that they are destroying my home, my theatre of dreams, from the inside out. It is literally falling down around their ears, and it is entirely their fault. They don't care about the club. They don't care about philosophy. They don't care about long-term playing structures like Liverpool, Manchester City. They just care about taking dividends out of the club. They've got a cash cow, and they are just keeping it alive long enough to leech it, to suck the milk out of it. And when they've got enough, they'll sell it. They are not football club owners. They're slum landlords.
It's very true, and I agree with you. But also, I'm a little bit more on Redknapp's side, in the sense that I feel that short of a billionaire takeover, it's hard to see the Glazers not owning Manchester
They're not
United
selling
in
it
the long
now.
run.
They're not selling it now because they need at least 3 billion.
So, what is the short-term fix? I wouldn't even say a fix. It's just you need to change something within the thing, and it's the players. For example, during the Brentford match, the moment they score the first goal, David Gia, poor David Gia, letting the goal, and then I was like thinking, there's no way they're coming back. No way they're coming back. And I think, last time when I was watching Manchester United, the champion title winning side, and then watching them play, whenever they let in an early goal, I always say
they will fight back.
too early. The opponent scored too early. I was dead sure Manchester United will fight back and will probably dominate the possession and bombard their penalty area all game. Because they had captains all over the pitch. They had not just Roy Keane. You have your Peter Schmeichel, Gary Neville's. Then those people more demonstrative, and then you got the quiet ones like Beckham, Dennis Irwin, Ryan Giggs, who just go all out and set an example. So you can't see anything resembling that in this squad.
Let me just say, before you come in, Raymond, but I still think that's the top down. Because before the Glazers, you had a clear football structure in place. You had David Gill there, you had Ferguson there, you had a great academy, first at the Cliff and then down at Carrington. It was a football club from top to bottom, run by football people. This is a corporation run by bankers. They don't have the first clue about how to run a football club. They know how to have an official noodle partner, lubricant partner, tyre partner, pillow provider. Manchester United has a pillow provider, a lubricant provider, a noodle provider. What else did I miss out? Lots of other weird chocolate provider. They don't have a proper centre-back. They don't have a combative midfielder. They don't have a goalkeeper that can play a possession-based game in a possession-based era. They don't have a centre-forward. Most of those problems have been in place for years. They're not new problems, Raymond. They've been in place for years. That's on the club structure. But at the same time, where I do agree with Keong, these players know. They know no one's going to buy them. They know they're on fantastic wages. Luke Shaw's supposed to be on several £100,000 a week. He's not going to get that anywhere else. Marcus Rashford is not going to get that money anywhere else. They're not going anywhere, so you're stuck in this rut. What do you think?
That's the problem with modern days football now. Players are getting high wages. I like the past where the players really play for the club, for their passion. So like back then they get Beckham, Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes, all these, from the
academy.
From the academy, class
youth
92.
academy. Yes. So as of now, you get players like you just pay them to come here. So whether they are benched or not benched or injured,
no pride.
nobody cares.
Yeah. So what do you do now? How does Ten Hag fix it can it be fixed in the short term? I don't think it can, but do you think it can?
No.
So you're relegated then, are you?
If someone is close to fix this team, I think back then would be Mourinho or Ole. Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I think Raymond makes a good point because I don't think this team can be fixed. And I'm not going to get all wayang melodramatic.
Unless they sell the club.
Yeah, unless I'm not going to talk relegation or nonsense like that. Although they were pretty outplayed by Brentford and was it Brighton?
Yeah,
the week
Brighton.
before. There are holes in every single area of the pitch. Now, if you look at previous managers, Pep Guardiola came straight in, fan favourite Joe Hart, you're gone. Fan favourite David De Gea is still there. Not only is he still there, and I can't believe this, Raymond, they've loaned out a very good goalkeeper in Henderson, who had a terrific game last week. He's not making the decisions that Pep Guardiola made at Manchester City. So I'm a little bit worried about Ten Hag. I said to you, didn't I, off air, I don't want to sound all wayang, but for the first time I thought Ten Hag might not survive this season. He might not survive this season.
People are already comparing him to Frank de Boer at Crystal Palace. He lasted 77 days, 5 matches.
He will leave after 10 games. That's his name.
I mean,
Ten Hag.
he had a cushy life in Ajax, right? It's Amsterdam, you're laid back, everybody loves you, you're a big fish in a small pond, whereas, his new centre-back is just a small fish everywhere. He had a good life, a good time. He must be looking back at Ajax and thinking, my God, that was heaven compared to the hellscape that I'm involved with now. What do you think? Anyway, let us know what you think. Send in all your comments. Will Manchester United get relegated? Will Ten Hag be off before the end of the season? Will their new centre-back end up rejoining Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? Let us know at...
Subscribe to Yahoo Southeast Asia YouTube channel, or you can go to Twitter at YahooSG, Yahoo_MY, or you can go to TikTok at YahooSEA.
Right, now, let's get on to the second part of the show. And before we do it, I've just got to say, Keong, can you just look into my eyes? Look into my eyes. Look into my eyes. Raymond, look into my eyes. My eyes, look into my eyes. What is this obsession with everyone looking in their eyes, right? Jamie Redknapp sent it to Gary Neville.
Look at me
when I'm talking to you. Look at me when I'm talking to you. And then there's Conte and Thomas Tuchel / Schwarzenegger.
You don't look at me when I shake hand.
Look at me.
Look at me when I shake hand.
The world has gone mad. But it's fabulous. What did you think of it? I loved it.
Oh man, I was laughing all the way through, and then all the memes that come out, the shaking hand, that was like classic meme material. And the next day is like on every social media channel.
Yeah,
it was hilarious. I love it. That's what makes the Premier League so fun, because all these characters, under big pressure, and then those things just explode in the middle without warning.
And Raymond, it's the complete opposite of Ten Hag, to be frank, who's 4-0 down and, looking like he's reading a book in the dugout, reading a good novel, doing nothing. The contrast is very clear. What did you think of it? The handshake furore.
Actually, I think due to the first goal, I think they are quite unhappy that because there's a foul at
before.
Yeah, I think about 44 seconds before. I think there's a foul. There should be a yellow card or something.
Okay, fair enough.
It's the last man, right?
Yeah. I also think one of the goals was possibly offside.
The last
Richarlison.
The Cesare Romero was like,
which should have been a red card.
From there, the tempo actually hit up.
Yeah.
But I've come to this profound conclusion, watching the press conference and seeing the interview afterwards, that Thomas Tuchel might be insane in the nicest possible way. He might be insane because did you see the thing afterwards? He was in the press conference going, "What do you think? What do you think?" And the journalists are like, "What the hell? Are you not well? What are you doing, man? What are you doing?" Yeah. So there is something about Thomas Tuchel. He was sprinting down the line, wasn't he? Past Conte, and then he's showing his muscles and he was laughing it off. He could get a serious ban, And
it's not just him. Conte later put up on his Instagram when Tuchel was running, and then he said in his Instagram, "Luckily, I never put out a leg. I would have tripped you up."
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it was great.
That was great. Funny, man.
Should have tripped him up. He should have tripped him up.
But do you like this kind of passion? This
is the kind of passion that we lack of, especially for a Man United fan. This is the kind of passion which we haven't seen for years. Last time when we have Roy Keane, all this. They go for the legs.
I love it. I think you need it. I think we take football far too seriously at times. It is just a game.
Just don't say it's a man's game.
Don't say it's a man's game. All genders are welcome.
All genders are welcome.
At the Yahoo Footballing Weekly podcast. Just want to put it out there. It's a man, woman's, child's, dogs,
them,
cats,
they, whatever
you like.
Yeah.
Them, they. It's everybody's game, and rightly so. Yeah. On that point, Graham Souness is just getting a little bit Jurassic. For
you can
my,
tell which generation they are from.
yeah, it's a bit embarrassing all that. But no, fabulous. It is a game. It is a sport. We do get carried away, but a little bit of pantomime theatrics on the touchline.
Yeah.
Brilliant, man. I want more of it. I want it
Yeah.
every week.
That's
I
great.
love Conte. And honestly, on a side note, before we get into the preview of Manchester United and Liverpool, how can Gary Neville, Raymond, seriously suggest that Conte wasn't a right fit for Manchester United? Because if you look at Tottenham and if you look at Man U and where they are right now, that was a mistake, wasn't it?
Yes, that's a mistake. But if you ask me personally, I feel that the top owners need to change first. Otherwise, even you bring in the best managers, I don't think.
I agree. If you bring in Conte, within two weeks he's gonna quit because they're not getting his.
They won't
his
get him the
people in.
players. That's true.
Yeah,
They won't get him
if
the
you bring in
players.
Pep, probably the same thing.
Yeah,
also.
probably the same
Look at Marino. Marino is our best hope.
And I now look back and think Mourinho was right when he said his
Yeah.
greatest ever coaching achievement was
second.
getting them to finish second and win a trophy, right? He won the
Europa
League.
yeah.
extraordinary achievement looking back, right? Well, let's get to it then. The relegation six-pointer between Manchester United and Liverpool this weekend.
Come on.
We'll get your side first. Coming in, Man U, Liverpool, what's going to happen?
Like I said earlier, probably you can go for the 5-0 or AOS.
5-0. Oh,
I mean,
do have faith.
AOS.
Liverpool for the win, definitely. Yeah.
But why? Why? You don't see any... The only reason I say that... Of course, all reasonable logic suggests this is a comfortable Liverpool victory. But even at the heyday of the class of 92 and Keane and all that, they used to have problems. Gary Neville said it on air this week. You know, Liverpool was always tough. Anfield was always tough. I'm not going to, throw cliches about the form guide going out the window, but it is different when Liverpool Man U play.
Yeah, it does. But the thing is, I feel that the 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace, Liverpool's 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace, it might be a blessing in disguise for Liverpool because right now both sides have to get the win. So for different reasons, obviously, I mean, you just to get back on winning ways.
Yeah, but who do you think looks more hungry to win?
I mean, obviously, for me, I would feel like Liverpool will have the better equipped to get the win. But it's at Old Trafford, and it's so desperate, and it's such a desperate situation in Manchester United. They can use that kind of urgency to just really go out and. I mean, it's a win if you all get a draw, I think.
It's a win.
you might go all out to frustrate and then just deny us a win, and then we might even fall even further behind Manchester City or Arsenal or Chelsea, and that might be some sort of like a moral victory, but the thing is that Liverpool are also in sort of like an urgent situation right now. They say we need to get things going. So it will be a very, like you say, it will be a very blood and thunder match at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
But who'd have thought we'd have so much in common? Liverpool, Man U, and West Ham, all in a relegation dogfight after 2 games.
After 2 games,
this is a relegation wall behind us. The wall of shame.
We'll
behind
document
us.
this football show will be documenting our relegation troubles.
Now, my question for you, my friend, Nunez. What is he doing? Come on, what is he doing? I mean,
Indefensible.
who'd have thought a hot-headed Uruguayan striker at Liverpool? Gee,
Let me see.
I don't recall ever having one of those before.
That's very unnecessry.
What was he doing?
Oh my God.
And it was such a good.
I
What did you
can't
think?
defend him. Neither could anybody. I was looking through all the Liverpool fans' social media.
Yeah.
Nobody's defending him.
I mean, he got the red card, and you saw Jurgen Klopp in the post-match interview. I thought he was genuinely rattled. He says, we've got to do something with this kid.
Yeah, I
because
think he was-
you saw the provocation. It wasn't that much.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit of digging, normal in the Premier
And
League.
if you see the full video, even before that provocation, he was already trying to use his head to.
Yeah.
That is why Anderson went to push him.
I agree.
So I think Nunez, obviously he's under pressure of that price tag. That price tag is, regardless of what is working in his mind. So he's trying very hard to justify it. which translates into good things because he makes a lot of things happen while he was on the pitch. They create the chances for him and he tries to do, but he couldn't score for that during against Palace and we are a goal down by then. And so it gets weighs on him even more until he lost his head.
Yeah.
That's the only explanation I can do. So I think it might do him well to calm him down. Take the 2 or 3 matches.
3 games.
I think
3 games. It's a shame because I was looking forward to Nunez and Martinez and this circus freakish act, the tall and the short playing together. I mean, it's not a big problem for Liverpool, to be honest. I think they'll survive without him. Great goal, by the way. Diaz, right? Terrific. So I think Diaz will be a real problem for Manchester United. What I will say is, if Manchester United lose by anything more than 3 goals, and it is possible, you will start to hear people calling for Ten Hag's head after 3 games. That's not me being melodramatic. That's just the game because they'll see, where is this going to end? There's no progress being made. That's the problem for Man U. It's not the defeat per se. It's not even the run of bad form. All clubs have bad form. They can't fix it. There's nothing on the bench. There's nothing in the squad. There's nothing in the academy. There is nothing in reserve that can fix this mess if they lose 3 in a row this weekend. What do you think?
I think probably give them a few more games.
I don't care. Let's get relegated. It'll be funny.
The third game is we won't earn any point from the third game.
I don't think he will immediately get the sack by a lot.
No. I never said that.
Okay,
I never said that.
Pressure. Okay.
Pressure. He will certainly feel the pressure. 3 games played, no points, massively negative goal difference, bottom of the table. It's never happened in the Premier League era for Manchester United, so it will be history defining in some ways. No, of course he won't get sacked, but you will start to hear that desperation coming into the media. But what do you think? Let us know.
I just want to say that I just can't help but recall I was privileged enough to witness Manchester United's only prize awarded this season in Bangkok Cup in Bangkok.
Hey, come on!
Yeah, that's when
Bangkok Cup, man.
That's the only time when we beat Liverpool.
Hey,
4-0 some more.
Yeah. What did I say? You got the Community Shield, FA Cup, League Cup,
and then the Bangkok.
And then the Bangkok Cup. Oh, it's there, like, right? It's right there. I mean, the Bangkok Cup. Get it on this scarf of yours. Put it on. Bangkok Cup winners, 2022. You know what I mean? Let's do it, man.
But I just want to say that before the match itself, I had a chance to meet some of the players on the meet and greet section, and then Luke Shaw was there, and then he was saying that this is the season where we're gonna improve massively. Eric Ten Hag has been working us hard, but we love it. We're gonna see that a lot of things. And then the host then asked him, Anthony Martial and Rafael Varane, give us a word each. Each of you give us a word on how you feel about the season. So Varane said ambition. Then Martial said victory, and Luke Shaw said trophies. I'm just now these things just flood back to me, and I just say, oh my god, how much can be changed in just a month like that?
Well, I mean, look, if the whole fullback thing doesn't work out for Luke Shaw, he could be a stand-up comedian. I mean, 300 grand a week to be a stand-up comedian. Well, what do you think, folks? Is Luke Shaw a comedian? He was last week. What do you think about Manchester United, Liverpool this weekend? Who's going to win? Do you even care? Let us know about this relegation 6-point battle between 2 fallen giants. You can send us your comments and feedback.
And overreactions.
And overreactions to
Yahoo Southeast Asia on the YouTube channel, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on Twitter, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
Very good. Thank you. Now, let's get into the third topic. Local football now, which Raymond is a big fan of. Singapore football. Lion City Sailors. Let's talk about Lion City Sailors, because I'm a bit of a fan of what they're doing. But before I get into that, tell us what happened last week.
Well, actually, it's about a few weeks ago. So it was almost at the end of match. They were drawing 1-1 with Tampines Rovers, and then suddenly there was a touchline scuffle, and then the head coach of Lion City Sailors came up, and then somehow look at the assistant coach, who is our former player, Mustafiq Fahrudin. Land a headbutt similar to
Nunes.
Darwin Nunes. And then everything set off. And then it died down after a while. And then he actually went to apologize to Mustafiq. And then when the final whistle blew, and then that's because Sailors just got a stoppage time goal. And then everything set off again. And then this time Mustafiq was one going, putting a hands around his Kim Do-hoon's neck. So there was a lot of disciplinary hearings and this and that, and then and then Kim Do-hoon, the coach, was given a three match ban. Mustafiq also given a 3-match ban, all the fines and whatever. Immediately the day after that, Lion City's parted ways with Kim Do-hoon.
Well, don't play out with Lion City Sailors. They're not playing around.
Ooh.
But I heard some stories, right? Off the record, there's some discipline issues there. The squad were not too happy with the tactics, the management.
I think Kim is a tough person to please. That's what I heard. And then he sort of had clashes with both the national team, the coaches, and other coaches from other clubs, minor issues. And the thing about it is, if they had been winning, these things would be tolerated. But they've just gone through a patch where they struggled a bit and then allowed LB Rex to come back to second place. So immediately, and then suddenly this disciplinary thing happened and he has to be banned for 3 matches, and then it goes. So it's very typical of a club who has a lot of financial power, to make this kind of move, because dispensable.
It's decisive.
Yeah,
I mean,
decisive.
is that a bad thing, Raymond? They've spent a lot of money. We know they're owned by Forrest Lee, the billionaire, the Shopee owner. He wants to win the trophies. What do you think?
Everyone wants to win something, but of course, from the era of football now, it's the millionaires club. So it's just like S-League, the Sailors League already.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I saw some criticism about the Lion City Sailors saying that we're turning the Singapore Premier League into a one-team league or a foreign league between them and Albirex.
Okay, with Albirex, it's not a one-team league. Yeah. Okay.
And, we've had this said about Singapore. Singapore will be a one-team league with the Lion City Sailors, like Malaysia will be a one-team league with Johor and so on. Yeah. That is not Johor's fault.
Yep.
That is not the Lion City Sailors' fault. The fault is everyone out there who is not investing in clubs. Why should we sit here and blame Forrest Lee for investing millions in Lion City Sailors, or the Sultan for investing millions into Johor across the causeway? We should be pointing fingers at those who are not investing. You know who you are. We've got a Deloitte Women's Super League, fantastic. We've got Forrest Lee putting money into Lion City Sailors, fantastic. Across the causeway in Johor, fantastic. We have lots and lots of wealthy companies in this street, Robinson Road. Where's your money?
Yeah.
Put your money into the local league. Put your money into the local game. It's all well and good putting your money into the teams behind us when they come into town once every 2 years for their Mickey Mouse pre-season friendlies. Put your money in the local game. 1 month's salary of Cristiano Ronaldo will finance the Singapore Premier League team for an entire season. An entire season. So we can have the Bangkok Cup and the other Mickey Mouse Cups and all that. But let's see local-based, Singapore-based, multinational companies investing in local sport, local football. I do not point fingers at Forrest Lee, and I do not point fingers at JDT. I point fingers at those who spend not a penny on the local game.
Absolutely. And Sailors is not just about winning. They just built a wonderful academy near MacPherson. Yeah. And I've been to the opening of the academy. It is classy, state of the art. And you feel that, first thing I think is why is it only this club doing this? And all the other clubs are just using the stadiums for training, which is overused as anything. And then there's no proper gym. There's no proper the gyms in the Lion City the academy, they are programmed so that they will give you all the results, statistics of each of the exercise you do. Each of the players will understand where they need to improve. Amazing, state of the art. And you know,
I agree.
and you know, if you want to say that, you know, our Singapore football is not doing well, then you have to do something. You
As
cannot.
the old man said, put your hat in the ring,
Yeah,
man. Lee
put
Kuan
your-
Yew's famous words. Put your hat in the
Yeah.
ring. Don't just sit on the sidelines. Do something about
Yeah.
it. We've got so many armchair critics. We talk about gold medalists. We are the gold medalists of armchair criticism in this country. You know, young Lions lose 10-1 to Lion City Sailors, and we want to tech under young boys. At least they're out there playing. Don't tech on the 11 young Lions playing, and they're like 16, 17, 18 years old, some of these boys, playing against the Lion City Sailors. Don't tech under 11 boys on the pitch. Tech under 3 million who are not playing the game, who are not letting their kids take up sport as a profession. I'm tired of this thing that we constantly just sit back and whack. Oh, Lion City, you know, Sailors, so Haolien, such an atas club, so this, so that. Put your money where your mouth is. I am not going to criticise any footballer who tries to make it as a professional footballer. If it's the young Lions, the Lion City Sailors, I'm never going to criticise them. I'm only going to criticise the armchair critics sitting on their sofas, eating potato chips and criticising the young Lions. No, they're playing and you're not. So I blame you and not them. Number two, I'm never going to blame Forrest Lee for putting his millions into building a state-of-the-art academy, just like Johor across the causeway. I'm going to be looking at other businessmen with billions in pocket change and saying, you know what? You know those millions you keep paying to overseas celebrities and Formula One and a certain Mr. Beckham turning up just away from a hotel and there's $1 million. Thank you. See you next time. Great. Spend your money where you like. But can you not just spend a few dollars on the national game in the country in which you live? I mean, is that too much to ask? I don't know. What do you think, Raymond?
Do you see people wanting to invest in a Singapore Premier League club?
No, not really.
Oh, really? Yeah. So pessimistic.
Then how can you have an opinion?
Yeah.
Right, I'm talking about the corporate level. You know, it's all well and good, you know, pointing fingers at this one and that one, but I will not be criticising Lion City Sailors or Albirex Niigata or JDT across the causeway anytime soon, because they're literally putting their money where their mouth is, and that has to be a good thing for the game, right?
Definitely.
What do you think, guys? You let us know. You know the usual places. Lion City Sailors, is that the future for Singapore football? I would argue it's the only future for Singapore football.
It's the best example.
Private-owned clubs. It's the only way we're going to survive. It's the only way Singapore football is going to sustain itself in the future. So let us know what you think at last time.
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG and Yahoo_MY on Twitter, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
Thank you very much. Now, before we go, predictions for the big relegation six-pointer this weekend.
Stop calling it.
Between the two minnows of English football, Liverpool and Manchester United. We'll start with you, Han Keong.
I think it's 1-0 Liverpool.
5-0 Liverpool. Okay, I love the badge, I love the club, but I've got tired and sick of the current batch of players.
I have literally heard it all now. A Manchester United supporter in Singapore saying they're going to lose 5-0. And you know what?
Prove me wrong.
I totally respect you.
He's loving it. Look, he can hardly contain
but I'm
himself.
happy,
He's loving it.
I'm happy, but I also, I also feel for your team.
Yeah, I don't. You know, I'm supposed to be objective, but the author in me, the Wayang writer in me, the idea of Man U losing 5-0, 3 on the spin. I mean, Shakespeare couldn't have come up with a tragedy like this, and we'll have plenty to talk about next week. So we'll see you all again next week when his team have lost 5-0 apparently to his team.
Oh, man.
Thanks very much, and we'll see you again next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers, guys. 5-0.
5-0.
5-0.